Hi, I'm Scott. I'm Machine Gun Dad. Welcome back to my channel. Usually at this point I say alright, but I'll say something else. I want to start a series, and what gave me the idea for the series was the high point I bought. The high point I bought was a used pistol. It was $80 plus auction fees, blah blah blah. So it came out to like $135 with shipping. So, and then being a dealer, I have access to dealer pricing on high point, so I tried to see what they cost. Dealer pricing on a high point on the new ones anywhere from about $136 up to about $180 for the, I believe it's the 45 pistol. So retail on those is going to be 25 to 30% higher. So basically I thought, what else could I get in that price range? $250 or less. New, probably nothing. Used, there's quite a few options, so that's what this series is. We're going to look at used guns under $250 retail that, you know, you might buy if you go into a store and let's say they don't have a high point. You might buy something else. So the first in the series, and I just bought 2 of these, so there's going to be a second one right after this, is a Smith & Wesson SD. I got this from a local gun shop where I live, and I'll put their name of the business right down in here with their phone number in case you want to call them and go look at their inventory. I bought this gun. They didn't give it to me. They gave me a good price, but I still bought the gun. But you also got to take into account I am a dealer, so I get dealer pricing. Never fired one of these before. I did fire one of the old Sigmas going back, I believe in, what, the 80s? But I haven't fired one of these since then. So what's going to happen is, you know, it's an SDVE. It came with 3 magazines. We're going to take it out and we're going to run 10 rounds through it, reload, and run 10 rounds. Both Dave and I are going to try it. And I will make a notice for those of you that are buying, might want to buy one of these. I got 3 magazines with them. And they're all marked the same. I'll rotate that so David can get that on film. Alright. They have different floor plates. So if by chance you do buy one of these, you might want to make sure when you're buying the spare magazines that you actually get one that fits. All 3 of these fit and function, but they do have different floor plates. We'll be out on the range in a minute. We're outside, the sun is shining, I'm standing in mud, the range is wet. It's Pennsylvania, what do you expect? The Smith & Wesson SD9VE. This is my first shots through this gun. I have 2 10-round magazines. Excuse the red on my fingers, my targets blew up. Or my paint can painting my targets blew up. So this is an honest to God first impression. We'll see how I do. Oh, look at that. Got a jam already. I'm not going to blame that on a gun. I have a box of leftover ammo, and that's where all this ammo came from. None of the head stamps match on this ammo. Alright, we're going to reload and let David give it a whirl. Dave's going to try out the Smith & Wesson. I should say that one of those magazines has some lead bullets in it. We just wanted to try to see if this thing would eat different types of ammo. Go ahead, Dave.
No.
Well, again, we can't really blame that because who knows if the ammo was hot enough.
There's lead rounds on top, like 3 of them. flinch there. That was it.
Hey, we were just out on the range. We're back inside. We're going to review, or not review, because this isn't really review. This is more of a what do you think video. The Smith & Wesson SD 9VE. What do you think, David?
It kind of shot like a cheap Glock. The trigger felt very sloppy on it. And it was hard to pick up when it was going to fire. As a Glock shooter, the sights were a little bit, they were similar. I mean, it's a Glock knockoff, a Glock off, if you will. But the sights are a little bit different as far as the angle here. It's not horrible, not the worst thing in the world.
I am not a Glock shooter. I don't like Glocks. I don't like striker-fired Tupperware. But for what I paid for this gun, it'll do. If I couldn't afford anything better, even if I couldn't afford a Glock, it will do. David, both magazines failed to lock open. I don't know if that was him or the ammunition. For me, I didn't have that problem. I shot terribly with this. I'm usually a pretty good shot, and I shot absolutely terrible because this gun has it comes up sight high for me on the front sight like a Glock does. So for me, this isn't it. But this pistol will serve you. It'll do the job. Is it a tack driver? No. But can you hit steel or a man's size target at 15 yards? Yes. Is it reliable? From our experience, yes. And I ran crap through it. I don't have any idea why I didn't lock open on David. He does have a tendency to limp things because of his Glock habits.
My Glock habits.
But compared to the High Point, because that's what started all this, was the High Point. This is a better gun. I used one of these or a new High Point. They're about the same price. I'd probably go with one of these. That's my opinion. I don't know. Would you agree?
I would agree. Despite its sloppy trigger, I'd take that over the High Point.
The other thing is mag capacity. 15 rounds. High Point is 8, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the way to go. I'm not taking anything away from the High Point. The High Point is where I'm going to set the bar because that seems to be the most common, inexpensive pistol out there. I think this beats a High Point. For the same amount of money, if you could pick up one of these used over a new High Point, a used High Point's still going to be less, but if you could pick up one of these used versus a new High Point, I'd probably pick one of these up. And the same thing applies to this gun as I said to the High Point. If after you had this gun for a while and you want to move up, I mean, these guns when you go to sell them weren't worth a lot of money. That's why I picked it up so cheap. It could be a second gun, it could be a truck gun, it could be a tractor gun. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll keep trucking here. Thanks for coming to